Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is RS Nada, and today I'm going to be showing you some stories that have to do with relationship advice. Now, if you liked my videos and you want to see more of them, or any other videos that I have done, just go and click, comment, and subscribe to my channel. The button is going to be on the right, so I'll give you about 5 seconds to do this. Ready, go. Okay, perfect. So, without withholding any further info and wasting all of your time, let's go and get right started to our very first story of the day. Posted by Son of Tyranny, titled Verbally and Emotionally Abusive Father, 38 male, reached out to me, 20 male, on Facebook 2 days ago. Should I hear him out? Backstory. My mother, 17 female at the time, 37 female now, and father dated when they were in high school, and my mom gave birth to me after they had S. During the course of the relationship, my father began behaving abusively towards my mother, including but not limited to telling her to shut up. She also witnessed him be this way towards his parents, such as calling his mom a fat B-word. They split after I was born and came to a court agreement where my father would have custody of me every other weekend. He also started dating another woman, 18 female at the time, 38 female now, who he would marry years later and would become my stepmother. My parents stuck to the custody agreement, and my father's abusive behavior continued with me and my stepmother, where he would snap and scream at me for the smallest mistakes that he would interpret as disrespectful even when they weren't my intention. He would also insult and belittle my stepmother over innocent questions and disagreements, and tell her to shut the F up whenever she disagreed with him in any way. My stepmother would constantly make excuses for his behavior and never call him out no matter how abusive he got with either of us. When I turned 13, I couldn't bear being around him anymore, and I cried to my mother and stepfather, 39 male at the time, 46 male now, that I didn't want to go anymore. My mother and stepfather tried to encourage me to make him see the error of his ways, but still maintain a relationship with him, and we tried to go to therapy to talking things out. He stopped coming after about 3 sessions and asked to discontinue child support, which we did. After that, I blocked him and his side of the family on all social media. That was about 6 to 7 years ago, and I have had no contact with him whatsoever. I did reconnect with his parents and refriend his family members in 2018, and his parents and I started seeing each other regularly again. 2 days ago, I decided to unblock my father and stepmother to have a quick glance at their timelines, and since you have to wait 2 days before you can reblock someone on Facebook. I guess he must have seen my new account because he contacted me on Messenger saying he would love to talk whenever I'm ready. My mind is in a million different places right now. I can't decide if I should hear him out or not, because there's a small part of me that would like to, but then I remember the way he treated me, my mom, and my stepmom. Furthering my conflict is my baby stepsister that they had about a year before we stopped talking, and I still feel bad that his behavior has caused me to miss out on the opportunity to get to know her. I just don't know what to do. Should I try and reconnect with them, or block him again and move on? Too long to read, didn't read, cut off my abusive father about 6 to 7 years ago, and never looked back. And now he's asking to talk to me. Should I hear him out or ignore him? Well, OB, the decision is entirely up to you, but I would tread with caution. First, I would go and see what he would want to do, and there's any apology, that's in order. But you don't need to accept him into your life if you don't want to anymore. That is totally up to you. But if you do, just tread with caution and see if he's really a changed person and has received help. Because if not, that cycle will continue. So I would suggest treading very cautiously if you do try to hear him out. Sorry for the late reply, but I've been where you are. My dad and I had a spotty relationship with a lot of contact broken. It was always a strained relationship. We seemed to have gone to a decent place, and then he passed away very suddenly. Now, I'm not saying you should reach out. It's your life, and nobody deserves to have the right to make you miserable. I don't speak with my mom because it's the only way that can stay sane. With all that in mind, regret is a terrible thing, and while I look back at our old relationship and try to see what I could do differently, I see opportunity to have made better choices. And MM172 says a lot of things perfectly, stating, if you're open to reconciliation, I would ask him what exactly has changed since you last spoke that would warrant a conversation. It's telling that he didn't open with an apology, although, to be fair, it's good that he's at least expressing willingness to let you take things at your own pace. If you really don't know what to do, though, it's okay just to leave him on read until you are ready, if you ever are. Again, if his offer is sincere, he knows you're going to need time and space to figure things out, and he's not entitled to expect anything from you. He can wait. Update. Verbally and emotionally abusive father, 38 male, reached out to me 2 days ago on Facebook. Should I hear him out? The original post is in the description. It's been 20 days since my last post, and a lot has happened since then. I figured I should give you all an update. After the first post, I took about a week to ponder whether or not I should bother hearing my father out. Ultimately, I decided to ignore him. A few days ago, my mom came into my room to tell me that she had a look at my stepmother's Facebook, and she noticed that their marriage was no longer included on his and her profiles. This led us to speculate whether or not they have gone divorced. I decided to wait until the next time I saw my grandparents, his parents, to ask them about it, as I felt it would be better to discuss it with them in person. So I had lunch with them yesterday, and while they were driving home, I asked them directly if they had gotten divorced. They said yes. My grandfather then said while he didn't know for sure if it's true, he heard that they divorced because my stepmother had cheated on him. They also told me that they, him and my grandparents, had been on speaking terms since Thanksgiving 2016, where they got into a big fight that ended with him basically saying that they were never welcome in his lives again. This was until after the divorce, where he asked them if he could stay with them for a while, until he can find a new place to live, meaning that he basically only reached out to them because he needed something from them, and not because he wanted to mend the relationship. As if all that wasn't bad enough, even after they took him in, despite no obligation to do so whatsoever, he's still treating them like crap. Needless to say, Hearing all this further solidified my refusal to have anything to do with him ever again, and he's staying blocked on social media for good this time. That's the end of the update. Too long to read, didn't read. Grandparents confirmed my and my mom's suspicion about my dad and stepmother's divorce. And now I see I dodged a bullet. Whoa, that seems to be a lot that was going on over there. OP, seems like you dodged a really big bullet there. Good on you for recognizing the signs and reaching out to your grandparents before responding to your dad. That was a really good sense that you had there. And now, the comments. Hikacha said, "Glad to hear. Seems history has run its course. I wish you all the best." Home Three Bodies said, "Grandparents who can be honest about their children's flaws are such a big deal. My grandfather warned my mom, to pack up the van and run when they were living with us. Him and Nan didn't know that my parents had decided to divorce at this point, but you could see how bad the verbal abuse and bullying had gotten. Since then, my grandfather has passed and 2 out of the 4 kids don't speak to my dad. His mom recently advised my sister to not bother me, in quotes, when my sister mentioned wanting to introduce her son to our dad. Her explanation was simply that he's, in quotes, gone worse. I feel a lot less guilty knowing that they recognized how badly his behavior was affecting us. Great job protecting yourself." And in the final comment by Cuddle Nazi F Monster, you want to do, since the stepmother and he are divorced, you could try to find her your sister. Y'all can be half sisters, I think. You may be able to bond over that dummy of a sperm donor. OP replied, "I'm a male actually, so that would make her half brother. But yeah, I'd definitely be open to the possibility of making up with my stepmother, especially if it meant I could see my sister again." Okay, and that should do it for the stories today. Now don't forget to click like, subscribe, and comment down in the post below. And I want to see you all back here so you can see what other Reddit videos I'll be doing. So thank you all for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. See ya!